Project 1, Physics in Everyday Life, Colby Spann. Physics. On this living planet that we call Earth, there are lots of interesting events that take place. These events are around us, which we see or do experience regularly. At some point in time, your curiosity would have pushed you to ask questions about what's going on. How does this happen? Well, leaving miracles apart, the answer to all these questions is physics. In fact, physics governs all everyday lives in one way or the other. Let's have 10 examples of physics in everyday life. I know some physics is to understand how the universe behaves. Our alarm clock is sound. Physics gets involved in your daily life right from when you wake up in the morning. The buzzing sound of an alarm clock helps you wake up in the morning as per your schedule. The sound is something that you can't see, but hear or experience. Physics studies the origin, propagation, and properties of sound. It works on the concept of quantum mechanics, as you see a clock. Heat, a steam iron. Right after you wake up in the morning and start preparing your school office, you need an iron clock, and that's where physics comes into play. The steam iron is such a machine that uses a lot of physics to make it go. The foremost principle of physics used in the steam iron is heat. Heat in thermodynamics is a type of energy transfer from a warmer substance to a colder one. Ironing works by having a heated metal base, the solder plate. E. Friction. Walking. Now, when you get ready for your office or school, whatever medium commutation is, you certainly have to walk up to a certain distance. You easily walk is just because of the physics. While you have a walk in a park or on a tar road, you have a good grip without slipping because of a sort of roughness or resistance between the soles of your shoes and the surface of the road. The resistance which is responsible for the grip is called friction or traction. However, when a banana peel comes under your foot, you suddenly fall. Now, what makes you fall? Well, it's due to the reduced friction between your shoes and the surface of the road because of slippery banana peel. Next, the ballpoint pen. Gravity. Whether you are at your workplace or in a school, a ballpoint pen is a weapon. Had physics not been there, you would not have able to write with the ballpoint pen on the paper. In this case, the concept of gravity comes into play. As your pen moves across the paper, the ball turns and gravity forces the length down to the top of the ball, where it's transferred onto the paper. Headphones and or speakers. They use magnetism. When you get tired of work or studies, listening to music comes handy. Have you ever thought, how does your earphone work? Well, it's again because of physics. The concept of magnetism and sound waves are involved in science of your headphone and or earphone. When you plug your headphone and or earphone into an electrical source, the magnet in your headphone or earphone creates an electrical magnetic field, which ultimately results in sound waves. As you can see, a speaker. If you ever touched a speaker, then it's like, there's the back of the subwoofer speaker. Anyways, there's a magnetic part, because I know I was putting some in and the screw actually fell and I thought I lost it, but it was to the back of the speaker. Seatbelt. Inertia. Have you ever noticed that on which principle does your car seat belt work? Well, it's again physics. When you tighten your car seat belt, it works on concept of inertia. Inertia, unwillingness or laziness of a body to change its state of rest or motion. In case of a car collision, your seatbelt helps prevent your body moving in a forward direction, as your body resists being stopped because of inertia of motion. Wearing a seatbelt will stop your body, but that certain moment of inertia is less than it would be versus if it were no seatbelt, when you would hit the steering wheel and your body would go flying. Cell phone. They use electricity, and they also use magnetism. Cell phones have become like the oxygen gas in modern social life. Hardly anyone would have been untouched by the effects of a cell phone, whether conveying any urgent message or doing insistent gossip. Cell phones are everywhere. But do you know, how does a cell phone work? It works on the principle of electricity and electromagnetic spectrum, undulating patterns of electricity and magnetism. As you can see, there's a cell phone, and then there's a board with a battery. Looks like there's a capacitor and a transformer with a couple diodes and a light, and then there's a switch. History of physics. Physics became a separate science when early modern Europeans experimental and quantitative methods to discover what are now considered to be the laws of physics. Thales was the first physicist, and his theories actually gave discipline its name. He believed that the world, although fashioned from many materials, was really built of only one element, water, called physis in ancient Greek. The interaction of water between the phases of solid, liquid, and gas gave materials different properties. This was the first explanation to take natural phenomena out of the realm of divine providence and into the realm of natural laws and explanations. Works cited page. Ancient physics, history of physics, physics, and studies guy, example of physics in everyday life. And this concludes my presentation.